4,000 years ago, in the lands of ancient Mesopotamia, a historic conflict erupted between Sumer and Elam. Considered the first recorded war in human history, it took place around 2700 BC and was fought over control of trade routes and valuable resources. In the end, the Sumerians emerged victorious, subduing the Elamites and seizing their weapons. This monumental battle revealed how early civilizations organized their armies, developed strategies, and wielded advanced weapons to expand their power and influence. Sumer was an ancient civilization that emerged around 4500 BC. The people of Sumer called their land Kangir, meaning the country of noble lords. Located in southern Mesopotamia, they spoke the Sumerian language, which is where the name Sumer comes from. The civilization was made up of independent city-states that grew into powerful centers in the region. Their first known king was Enmebaragesi, who led the Sumerians into what is considered the first recorded war in history. This victory established Sumer's dominance in Mesopotamia. However, around 2330 BC, Sumer fell to King Sargon of Akkad. Like Sumer, Elam was also an ancient civilization, founded around 2700 BC. The kingdom of Elam was located in what is now southwestern Iran and parts of Iraq. Scholars believe the Elamites were ancestors of the Medo-Persians. The identity of Elam's first king is unknown, as its earliest history is difficult to reconstruct. For centuries, the Elamites were a major political force in Mesopotamia, frequently clashing with the Sumerians over fertile agricultural lands and regional supremacy. These rivalries helped drive the development of new military strategies, which later influenced other cultures. Elam eventually fell in 645 BC when it was conquered by the Assyrian Empire. The oldest recorded war in human history was fought between the Sumerians and Elamites around 2700 BC. Far from a minor border dispute, it was a full-scale military campaign led by Enmebaragesi, the powerful king of Kish. His goal was clear: to expand Sumer's frontiers and seize control over vital trade routes and scarce resources. Archaeological discoveries confirm Enmebaragesi's existence, with inscriptions bearing his name found on alabaster votive vessels. These finds bring to life the accounts of a ruler determined to project his influence beyond Sumer's heartland. The campaign likely advanced north from Kish, following early trade paths that would later be known as the Royal Road, and culminated in an assault near the Elamite stronghold of Susa. Ancient records celebrate this Sumerian triumph, declaring that Enmebaragesi made the land of Elam submit. The victory not only extended Sumer's reach eastward but also cemented its reputation as a dominant power in the ancient Near East. This confrontation is remembered as the first war ever documented in writing, a landmark in the history of organized warfare and a testament of the ambitions, strategies, and rivalries that shaped the earliest civilizations. According to records, the conflict took place in the region of modern day Basra, Iraq, while the specifics of the battle remain unknown. Scholars believe the war was a decisive and overwhelming victory for Sumer. This was not the first clash between Sumer and Elam. Over the years, the two kingdoms had engaged in smaller skirmishes. Groups of warriors armed with simple weapons clashing over disputed lands. But this war was different. It marked the emergence of organized warfare, featuring advanced weapons such as swords and shields, and set the stage for future large-scale military campaigns in human history. Records also indicate that King Enmebaragesi seized the Elamites' weapons, marking the early use of iron and bronze in warfare. Archaeologists have also uncovered iron helmets dating back to 2500 BC, demonstrating that Sumerian soldiers were well equipped for battle. The Sumerians trained their soldiers and organized them into small units and formations. They fought with a variety of weapons, including sickles, axes, knives, swords, javelins, and war carts. Their war carts consisted of a wooden basket mounted on four wooden wheels, pulled by four donkeys for speed. Each cart carried two people, one to control the donkeys and the other armed with maces or spears. These early workers laid the foundation for the later development of chariots. The Sumerians' swords measured roughly 24 inches in length and were made of bronze. Historians believe they borrowed the art of sword making from the Egyptians. But Sumerian soldiers also incorporated daggers and maces into their arsenal. Ancient depictions show them using simple bows, though it remains unclear whether these were employed in the earliest recorded war. For protection, the Sumerian soldiers wore helmets made of either iron or bronze. They also used shields to protect themselves from enemy strikes. The Sumerians made rectangular shields from bronze, which the soldiers hung around their bodies using a leather string. The shields' size and shape meant they were effective against arrows as well. All these were responsible for the victory over Elam. Though it is difficult to trace the history of Elam to that point, it is possible that the Elamites were not as highly developed when it came to their military as their neighbors. The Sumerians' advanced weapons and tactics proved overwhelming for Elamites. The Sumerian army was organized into professional soldiers grouped into smaller units called Nubanda, each consisting of roughly 100 men. Another unit, the Shublugal, served directly under the king. Their primary responsibilities were to protect the king at all times and to coordinate attacks, ensuring that the other units operated effectively. The Nixum unit, on the other hand, was tasked with defending these household lands. They also recruited soldiers from various clans, and their role is regularly supplying the main army, granted them the authority to own and manage land. The Sumerians also employed light infantry, as shown in artwork dating back to around 2500 BC. Known as Nim, these troops primarily served as skirmishers. Their role was to carry out frequent, irregular attacks on the enemy to disrupt formations, target supply lines, and launch surprise assaults that could undermine the opponent's plans. The discovery of records detailing the war between Sumer and Elam offered scholars a unique window into the early development of warfare. These accounts allow historians to study the military strategies and weapons employed by the Sumerians. They also provide valuable insight into the organization of the Sumerian army, revealing the different units, their roles, and how they coordinated to achieve victory on the battlefield. The war between Sumer and Elam was more than just a battle. It was the beginning of recorded warfare and a defining moment in human history. By studying these events, we gain a deeper understanding of how early civilizations fought, organized, and advanced their military strategies. If you found this glimpse into early military history fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next journey through the battles that changed the world. See you in the next episode.